know why we like the back of things. Like, I remember being in school and all the cool people sat in the back of the bus, all the cool people sat in the back of the classroom. But I think back about how the civil rights movement, the biggest the biggest event that shifted that whole movement, that whole era was from a woman who was tired, sick and tired of sitting in the back. She wanted to sit wherever she wanted to sit because her feet was tired. Her name was Rosa Parks. She fought for us to sit wherever we want to sit. But a lot of the times we like to sit in the back. And I'm guilty of it as well. I used to like to sit in the back of the class because it was cool people back there. And I remember during my high school years, I was sitting in the back of a particular class, and the class clown was back there, cracking jokes, disrupting class, and we would laugh and have a good time. But I noticed my grades began to dip. My grades started going down, 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 like quickly down, not like, A, B, C. No, it was like A, C, and then the next one was like one of those single digits, like it was a temperature. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? It was the company that was around me. It was the people that was around me that was influencing me to say, you know what, I don't have to do that, or hey, it's cool. I'll get it at another time. But it was a distance that I was creating from getting what I was supposed to be getting out of the lesson. And I was thinking about a lot of us need to change our seat. Yeah, we need to change our seat. There's a seat, there's a position that God has for each of our lives. And a lot of the times we can get distracted because we're sitting wherever we want to sit in the classroom when the teacher is in front. The teacher, Jesus, he's right in front. Jesus is telling you, he's giving you instruction, he's giving you different things, but you're not getting the lesson, you're not learning the lesson. And so when we don't learn the lesson, we don't pass the test. And when we don't pass the test, it's repeated in our lives again. And so we're going around and around and around. We're going in circles. And there's a part of us that can change that, but it starts with right up here. We have to stop being conformed to the world. We have to be transformed by the renewal of our mind. There's a part of us that needs to be renewed, and it starts right upstairs. It starts with us not wanting to sit in the back of the class because it's cool back there. It's relaxing back there. We're accepted back there. What about when our seat's in the front? I remember my second stint in college when I got serious about finishing college. That's another story for another time. But when I sat in the front of the class, my grades were better. I was able to get a personal relationship even with the teachers, even with the professors. They even called on me more because I was sitting apart from the rest of the class. Everyone else liked to congregate to the back of the classroom. And I'm not talking about anybody out there that likes to sit in the back of the classroom, but for Joseph Hogue III, it was no good. Sometimes you have to know yourself. You have to know where, hey, it's time for me to really get what I came here for. And some of us are going through our lives not getting what God has for us because we're comfortable doing our own thing. The book of James, chapter 4, I'm going to read from the Contemporary English Version. Verse 8, it says, "Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Clean up your lives, you sinners. Purify your hearts, you people who can't make up your mind." There's a lot of us that feels as though God has left us. Oh, he's created this distance. Much like the classroom, we picked our position, which is furthest from the instruction or the instructor. God has given us the instruction in the front of the class. There's an empty desk in the front of the class, but we walk past that empty desk to walk back to wherever we wanted to sit. And because we're sitting in the back of the class, it's really hard to understand the teacher because of the distractions that are going on around us. And we are starting to hear the instruction of the people around us instead of the spirit that's in us, the spirit that's above us, the spirit that is giving us life, the spirit that has given us life, the eternal life that we're living this life to experience at some point, but we're not paying attention to that because we're distracted by the class clown. We're distracted by the people who accept us. We're distracted by all these other things. What I'm saying is, if you draw near to God, he draws near to you. The distance that we feel from God is the distance that we've created. When are we going to sit in the front of the class? So that way we can hear the instruction, remove the distractions, listen to God. And some of the things that have been causing us to not be able to make up our mind, we won't be able to hear those as much because the instructor will be speaking, and the instructor wants us to pass the test. The instructor doesn't want to keep seeing us in the same test, in the same class over and over again. He wants us to pass this test. The question then becomes, do we want to pass the test? Or do we enjoy keep repeating classes? And then another group comes in, and another distraction comes, and then we fall for that distraction, and we continually take the test over and over again, and we keep failing. And the instructor is still in front, still giving the same instructions. Are we listening? It's time for us to make that decision now. Either we make it now or we make it later. It's our choice. Change your seat and watch the changes in your life. And the changes will be for the better.